Hey everybody, it's James Freeman. Today's video is coming to us from the channel Broken System, Broken Trust on YouTube. Head over there and check out some of his other videos. Don't forget to subscribe while you're there.
Broken system, broken trust. He could get money from me. He could borrow money from me.
I want you know what I want you to do? Because you're good at what you do. And I like what you do. And I'm going to give you credit for it.
Oh, well, thank you.
You will stand on your personal principles that you've talked to me about. And you will tell these judges and play their game.
Hey guys, how's everybody doing Sunday? One arrest, just one. It was September the 14th. It was, you guys know his YouTube channel. I got it in the description. Is Broken System, Broken Trust.
I bring you a channel that has a tremendous amount of educational value in its videos. I always knew that good, nice, smart, strong, and determined folks would find themselves with cameras and channels. This is an amazing community to be involved in. Become a part of the most important community on YouTube, guys. Subscribe to Broken System, Broken Trust, and get your notepads out. This dude is all those things I just mentioned.
I found over the Broken System, Broken Trust.
If I could just give a shameful shout out though to BSBT, because I don't really get on panels. Okay, I don't do that. And I chose to get on his, right? And that's because you know, there's something about you, man. You know, and I think that you deserve some support.
How about now? Is there sound now? Oh my goodness. Well, happy Halloween, everybody. We are live. Live. If you guys missed out on what happened last week, You Have Rights, Cops Have Duties got arrested. Man, I'm going to have to sum this the last week up real fast. We had Joe Cool on panel, Paul Carroll on panel, People came up on panel, Wolverine. We had just a ton of guests. It was a hell of a week. And we got people in the house from the Press Harder channel. Yeah, give that man a proper yeah. Cop Block Hot Springs in here, giving a proper yeah, right? But anyways, I have one hell of a show prepared for you guys. Hello from Northeast Ohio. Well, hello to you, John Smith, 2046. Appreciate you being in here. But guys, let me see. Let me just run this down because I tried going with like the cold open right there, right? You know, you bring it in and you just play some videos right out the gate, get everybody's attention. But what I wanted to tell you, here's the images that we had, right? This was like our month in review, I guess you could say, right? Trick or treat, Halloween, the entire month. If you didn't catch it, if you're new to the channel, this whole month was themed around Halloween, right? So we got a Halloween theme going on. So we finally found a good cop. Then that was going to be the logo, the original logo for this channel. And I'm glad I decided not to use that as the original logo for the channel to bear back the blue. But of course, everybody should know what the logo to the channel is that actually got decided on. But here's the pictures, right? Here's the pictures, okay? So that was me, right? A couple of years ago. And we're getting all dressed up for Halloween. That's my kids, right? And if you need a last minute Halloween costume as a guy, just throw on a wig. It works great. Then you go to the bar and then you strut around like you're hot shit, right? So, but look, this is the reason why our family isn't together this Halloween, right? Because this guy thought he could abuse that guy. That guy wanted to beat up that girl right there. That girl in the middle. And that girl in the middle was like, oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. So anyways, and then this is part of the beautiful family that we had at one point. That's my, well, sister-in-law, I guess, for the easiest way to, make the association. So anyways, and then hopefully I'll remember. If I forget, somebody remind me, please, to put up the best looking picture that I've got this Halloween. And I've got a couple teasers for you. I got a couple teasers because people tell me sometimes I am a tease, and that is correct. I am a tease. But I have two things teased up for you that you're definitely going to like it. Okay, let's put it that way. You're definitely going to like it. But anyways, what should we talk about? Should we talk about Halloween? This is who we're trying to recruit to come on the show. And it looked like we had confirmation initially, and Mr. Galt sounded like he was game. So let's see if we can get these folks on the panel. This is Val Venus, by the way, guys.
Taxation is theft.
Taxation is theft, right? So, I mean, great way to sum it up. But that's Val Venus. That's who we're trying to get onto the show with Mr. Galt. I mean, we'll drag you in here if we have to, Mr. Galt. We'll track you down in Wyoming. We know where you live, and you're not safe on that ranch, sir. You are not safe on your ranch where you own the 11 businesses around town. We will come and wrangle you, and you will be in our jurisdiction, Mr. Galt, because this is the court of public opinion. That's where we're at right now, court of public opinion. But let's just talk about last week real fast. I don't want to get lost or spend a lot of time on last week. You can see what happened yourself. Joe Cool on panel, people on panel. MCC was in the chat. Frickin' was here. It has been in and out of here. It's just been like so many big names that you can't even, wrap your head around who's coming in and, who's not. But we have Paul Carroll and we have Mr. Galt. Okay. And we really have to have a discussion. I would say we have to have the discussion by Thanksgiving at the very latest, because there's certain things that are running away from us, and they are running away from us fast. Okay. Let's see. Let me read through a couple comments real quick, and then I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. And then maybe we'll open this up to a panel, but I don't know. I have to work tomorrow, so I don't think I plan on going long tonight. But I always say that, right? I find some 3-inch aluminum tent poles and an old bicycle inner tube, flip tube, flip to the poles, elastic tri-staff IV. Hey, there you go. That's being innovative. Cop Block Hot Springs. But let's see. John Smith saying hello to Press Harder channel. That's people. Tommy is in here. Tommy2247. Thank you for coming in. Happy Halloween to you. Secret Agent Man is in here. Happy Halloween to you as well. We got MO Transformers. I don't know if I shouted you out or if I was on silent. Because what do you know? You try something new for the first time, and then you end up not even talking to your audience, and then they're like, what the hell is going on? But it's okay. We can edit that stuff out of this live show. But I always say that too, right? Anyways, we have a 6-figure mindset, and we do practice law over on this channel. This is the law that we practice right there. Okay. And we're running through Halloween. Okay. We're running through Halloween. Let me give you a teaser of an example of one of the teases that I have for you. I have 2 teases tonight, actually, and I think you're going to like both of them. I really do think that you're going to like both of them. But let me find this, right? I went up on Hippie's channel and check this clip out real quick.
You give me as many random words as you would like. I will throw it into the program. I mean, we could start with your name. Let's do your name broken just to see what it comes up with, because I usually always love to start with people's names. So let's give it a try. / I am prompt broken system broken. I won't even add any keywords to it. Let's just leave it at that basic. Ooh, look at that, Mrs. J. That's hot.
Oh,
that same cool picture, man. Hey, you got a word almost. That's very rare.
Yeah.
Do you know, of the 1,000+ pictures that I've made on this program, the only word is not up? Oh, shit.
There we go.
I always do that. So there's Trump Mrs. J was just fucking around with. And let's check out the constipated piggy. Look at this.
Constipated.
It's funny there's a signature.
Okay, so I was over on Hippie's channel. They're messing around with a software program that gives you artwork based on keywords. Super cool program, guys. Super cool program. Like, you can sit there and get lost for hours with this program. And so, of course, I have to try to throw out a couple words, right? And pink constipated piggy was what came to mind. Those were the first 3 words that came to mind. So I put it in the chat. You saw the image that came back. Here's the tease, okay? The tease is we improved on that to see if we could get a uniform on that pig. We had to try to get a uniform on that pig. Number 1, do you think we got a uniform on that pig? And then, I mean, it should be pretty obvious what the answer to that one is, because I have a picture. And if you guys remind me by the time we get out of here, because I could lose my train of thought with the panel guests, like the caliber of panel guests that we get, I could lose my train of thought. But I promise to show you somewhere the answer to the tease, which is how did we get the software program to put a uniform on the pig? So I guess I answered the first question. So the second question is, what did the image look like? And trust me, it is definitely worth checking out. So that's the first tease I have for you. Bear with me. Bear with me. And then this is the second tease that I have for you, okay? Let's see. Let me find it. Let me find it. Other than the tease of us getting the Veil Venus thing going, right? And the Wangalt. But anyways. I'll figure out what the other tease is here in a minute, guys. See, I was trying to get this show prep last minute and everything just kept falling into place. Everything kept falling into place. And I was like, oh my goodness. Like, I can't believe how tonight's show fell into place so perfectly. And then we'll get it set up for the rest of the week. So why don't we do that? Here, let's put up a banner for us real fast so we know what we're talking about. But this is what we tried getting going, right? Mr. Galt, we need you to come up. Don't make us go to Wyoming to wrangle you up. You know, bring you under our jurisdiction so we can have the discussion. But anyways, week upcoming. Let me tell you guys what we're going to be talking about this week, because it ties into everything that we've kind of been looking at, right? So here we go, the week upcoming. I'll give you a quick rundown and then we can get into some specific videos. I don't know how long we'll have to go, because like I said, I was getting everything prepared, and then when things started falling into place at the last minute, I was trying to rush and trying to get everything in here. So that's good for two reasons. Number one, it shows you that we got a lot to talk about. Number two, we're going to have important stuff to talk about, not just frivolous, crappy stuff, right? Because if you're going to invest your Halloween and you're going to be here, you want to talk about important stuff. Archangel for Truth, I have a clip with you in there too, Archangel for Truth. You know what? I'm glad you're here, Archangel for Truth. Let me bring this up. Denizen, appreciate you checking us out. I see you in here quite often. Thank you for coming back. That program that Hippie has, man, that's awesome. So as a special gift, my Halloween gift to you from Hippie, I brought it from Hippie's channel, is the answer to whether we could get a uniform on a pig and what that do you want to call it a painting or the AI rendered, image? It's great. It's great. Let's just put it that way. The entire program would just turn out one great thing after another, with maybe one disappointment out of like 100, right? So it's like 99% on the ball. But anyways, you guys will know more of what I'm talking about when we actually check it out. So here's the other clip. Let me see. Give me just a second. Archangel of Truth, right?
You give me as many random words as you would.
Hippie's thing. That's Hippie's thing. Like I said, guys, I tried to get this prepared.
Discuss that. I would like to provide the defendant and the court with a copy.
So that had to be said. So it's the defendant.
That's not how it was said.
That was how I said. You want to run the record back?
Mr. Brooks.
So I'm the only one. I got one.
Mr.
I got
Brooks.
one ear that work, and I heard that.
This is to benefit you.
So anyways, that was Daryl Brooks. And then, you know what? I don't know if I have it loaded up still, Archangel for Truth, but I believe I played it already. It was Artie's clip where he's basically,
you're on three questions.
Right.
And you're set.
Okay. Dang it, where is it?
You give me as many random words.
We're back onto the painting thing again. We're back onto the...
Here we go. Tones, thank you for the $10. I'll dunk on Archangel because he won't admit the
Here we
songs
go.
that
This is
arguments
it.
be
This
if
is
it
it.
wasn't, then why not find Mayor Brooks nonsense? Should it not matter what crime he's on trial for? He won't say. Well, I mean, in fairness to Archangel, a lot of the soft sit ideology is always talks about, the only valid crimes that exist are those of, that involve loss, injury, or harm. So if Archangel is an adherent to that, then obviously he's not going to have an issue with this because obviously the crime involves injury. So that's where I'm going to go with that sort of situation there with Archangel, and play devil's advocate for him. Again.
Did that play all the way through? My phone is kind of acting funky, guys. Not that anybody cares, but if something goes awry, just let me know. But yes, here, let me show you the other picture that I meant to put up when I was showing you pictures of my family around Halloween time, and what a beautiful family that we had, right? So anyways, if you're going to have to get detained by a police officer or by a little piggy, right? If you're gonna get detained by a pig, you might want one that has fuzzy handcuffs. Okay, so anyways, that was our beautiful family at one point, right? Here we'll run through the pictures one last time. Oh, not that one, not that one. So the kids going trick or treating, kids going to the bar when you don't have a costume, but you're rocking it in the free world. And then, of course, comes back to Finally Found the Good Cop, right? Okay, so Finally Found the Good Cop, that's how this whole show started tying together perfectly with a bow. And we even get to talk about MCC a little bit, right? Here, let's talk about MCC, because I stumbled across this. I was there, yes, Denizen X said. What, for Hippies show? Yeah. Well, I'm kind of referring to the audience that wasn't with us, but I don't know if that's what you meant or not, but let's see. Give me just a second, guys. I am a one-man operation here. I am a one-man operation, and I'm supposed to be talking to you guys about the upcoming week. But anyways, two things about the clips that I just played, right? That Daryl Brooks clip and then the Artie clip. Okay, the Daryl Brooks clip, let's just say the Daryl Brooks clip, right? Did you see how the inflection in the voice with the defendant? I don't know if you remember that. Rewind if your attention span is that ADD. But that's the thing about inflection. It doesn't show up on a court record. Why is that important? It's very important. It's crucially important. And I'll give you a couple examples why, but we're not going to do it until much later in this broadcast. And whoever is messaging me, you need to stop. I'm on a live stream. Okay? I'm going to ask you very politely. You have to stop messaging me. I know who it is. Please stop. Okay? But I don't want to be detained. I do not want to be detained, right? I do not want to be detained. Yucky. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Those are just some teaser pics, guys. If you want the real pics, you got to pay for them. They're enough with the whole not charging anything, right? Because that's just bullshit. So you'll get the teases and then you'll get the goods if, everything works out that way. I'll give you the goods at the end of this show and show you the image of when we put the uniform on the little piggy. And then I'll also bring it back to the Daryl Brooks trial and Archangel for Truth comment in Artie's chat as well, because this will all have a nice bow on it. So that's what we're going to talk about in the upcoming week. We're also going to talk about this.
So he got charged that day, and it was contempt of court, found guilty as charged, and that would have been 9th of the 14th, the same day he was going in for the citation here. So then we'll go down here to.
Well, that was my own court date, and if you didn't pick up on the foreshadowing with the cold open video, right? Like, that's where I got arrested, okay? Now, arrests bad. Arrests bad. Bad people get arrested, right? The message I'm sending right now to any ears that end up getting this message, the world is starting to watch and the cameras are there, and there's going to be people that are supportive, especially if they know you're in things for the right reasons, okay? If you're in things for the right reasons, then if you're in it for the right reasons, then you shouldn't have to worry, right? And let me show you this other clip, and this is what we're going to talk about this upcoming week.
All right, guys and gals, this is something I normally don't do. I was reached out to by this new auditor, whose name is Chad Ardner. His link will be in the description. Very first audit, and he was arrested. Let's get the word out.
Very first audit, and he got arrested. And then MCC is doing a call to action and saying, let's get the word out. Well, MCC, I would like you to know that I took your call to action, and I actually made a phone call on behalf of that gentleman down in Findlay, Ohio, which also has a strange connection and a strange, I don't know the right word that I'm looking for here, but it's just very strange how Findlay, Ohio would have just resurfaced today accidentally for me, because I made a call to that police department. I made a call to the police department. We'll play that call in its entirety. And then we're going to talk about all this stuff in more detail. So we got a hell of a week upcoming. Let me take this banner back down. And again, if you guys are just coming in, we practice law of attraction here, right? We're trying to get the bottom ticker lined up. So we're trying to do a lot of things, right? We're trying to do a lot of things. But here's what we're going to talk about. I'm going to let this video play a little bit longer so you guys can see specifically. And what we got to talk about is we got to talk about police, right? And we got to talk about police abuse. Okay? Police abuse is not good. Police abuse is bad. Here, let's let this video keep running so you know what we're talking about.
All right, guys and gals, this is something I normally don't do. I was reached out to by this new auditor whose name is Chad Ardner. His link will be in the description. Very first audit, and he was arrested. Let's get the word out for this guy. Give him some love.
Hi, what's going on? Is there anything I can help you with? No? Can I ask what's going on?
You see it?
Okay. What are you recording?
Anything I can see in public, bud.
Okay.
What's your name and badge number?
Officer Schmidt, 1937.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What's your name?
Nope. I didn't break a law, so
okay.
I'm not giving it. Oh, that's the guy that broke the law yesterday.
Oh, what happened yesterday?
Improper lane change. I would get pulled over for that, right?
Oh, okay.
It's all right for you to do it, right? Right? Name and badge number, please.
Kyle Sowers, 1884.
You?
What's your question?
Name and badge number.
Saplowski, 353.
Thank you.
You're not allowed to be videotaping in the courthouse.
Yeah. Oh, where's that? What law is that, bud?
It's the court's rules.
Court's rule. That's in the courtroom, not the courthouse. So
It
get
includes their
So when
physical
so
building as
no,
well.
it doesn't.
It does.
Show
now,
me.
now we're in the street now, so now we're.
As you can guess by the title of that video and the fact that MCC, basically just spilled the beans right away. Thanks, MCC. But I think you get the point. You know what ends up happening to him, right? Now, for the crowd that loves seeing violence, like for the crowd that just has to see the violent things happen, we can play that in its entirety because I got it up to the violent point. But we got to make sure that the kids are in bed, okay? You got to make sure that the kids have gone trick-or-treating, and then they're tucked safely in bed before you talk about the adult shit, right? You got to talk about the adult shit, which is the violence. So the two teases I had for you, we're going to reveal the pink constipated piggy that ended up getting put in a uniform with the addition of a couple of keywords, which was a fantastic addition to the original premise of it because it ended up rendering way better than you could ever expect. So we got that one tease. The second tease is I've got the phone call that I made to Findlay, Ohio that I had forgotten about. I forgot about that one because it had been so long ago. That was from like 4 months ago, guys. But this all ties into the bigger point, which was you have rights, cops have duties was just in here at the beginning of this. He got arrested earlier this week. There was a huge, response to try to help him in whatever way possible. So my message to activists that may be listening to this, right? There will be people railing to try to help you out, especially if you were in the right. And then if it was questionable, and I'm not saying any of these two videos we watched were questionable or, either of the two videos I'm referencing, whether they were questionable. I'm just saying that there's going to be people railing behind you and supporting you, just like they were on my arrest, right? I mean, MCC was there on my arrest. The only reason, and then I'm going to play you the video and I'm going to show you guys what I believe is the power of the media, because I will never know. I will never know why I was sentenced to 10 days jail They knocked it down to 7, knocked it down to 2, knocked it down to 1, had me out within 24 hours. I believe it was because of the power of the media, right? But anyways, going back to that Daryl Brooks clip, right? The defendant, okay? Inflection is very important in a courtroom. So, Anon, you probably saw yourself in the very beginning of this show. You're going to see your clip about your breakdown on my jail stay. And then, Anon, Alex already told me that you got the transcripts. So either Alex is a big fat liar or you got the transcripts, buddy. You guys, you want to talk about a call to action, go over to Anon's channel and tell him you want to see the transcripts. You want to see those transcripts from Novi. Why was I given 10 days jail for contempt? Then it was knocked down to 7. Then it was knocked down to 2. Then it was knocked down to 1. I was ultimately out within 24 hours. Explain to me how that happens without the power of the media there. And that was all thanks to MCC at the time. I was a nobody. I'm still relatively a nobody, right? But I wouldn't have had that kind of pull. I wouldn't have been able to do it on my own. It took, it took a tremendous effort to make that happen, right? So, Anon, we're going to play your video. And then, like I said, guys, we'll play the Finley phone call as the wrap up to the teaser for Halloween. And then we're also going to show you what the constipated piggy in a uniform looks like. So I think that's the perfect way to wrap up this Halloween season. Then we're going to be on to Thanksgiving, where you give thanks for everything that you have in your life, right? Like kids would be thankful that they have their parents alive if they love their parents, correct? Correct? All right. Anyways, happy Halloween. A phone call like the movie Scream. Well, I can't give you any spoiler alerts, but you know what? I'm glad you actually said that because that got me back on track. Here's where we were going with that, right? Saw a Freeman video, a James Freeman video. If you didn't notice, that was foreshadowing in the very beginning. I think I keep saying that. But anyways, let's see what Freeman said. And guys, Freeman makes the best phone calls. I'm not trying to copy Freeman with the phone calls. Like the man is next level with his phone calls. And I'll show you a clip from his recent video. And then the phone call is at the end. You guys could go check the video out on Freeman's channel. You don't have to watch it here. Here's the important part I want to talk about, though, and how it ties into everything we're talking about so far tonight.
A reason, right, that it's nationwide. And there's probably a couple different perspectives there. One is, well, cops get disrespected so much, who wants to be a cop, right? Mm-hmm. And then there's another perspective that, if cops were just saving babies. I mean, I saw a video once of a cop that pulled over on the side of the road. There was a baby choking, and the cop saved the baby's life. If that's all cops did, do you think people would be saying fuck the police?
You probably have watched some videos out there that people make. Some of them are just downright cop baiting. They're disrespectful, and police are human beings, and human beings are going to react, and it takes a lot for someone to be cussed at, yelled at, and not react to it. And most guys that come out and do this stuff, they will sit off the.
So anyways, it sure as hell with the cameras nowadays looks like you got quite a few people that are more interested in retaliating than they are solving crimes. Let's play the second video, and then I got a third video queued up that ties into this whole subject perfectly, okay? This next clip is speaking to the exact same thing from verbal judo black belt, and then you can't do a more masterful job than what people did here regarding the whole why police are not being trusted and what police should be focused on. Ready?
And said that I was in the bushes. Big deal, even if I was, which I wasn't. It's irrelevant. That's not a crime. Go solve some crimes, man. Why do you think that there's protesters in the streets? Probably because you guys aren't solving crimes, man. If you guys were solving crimes, everybody would love you. Rape, murders, robberies, like a crime, right? We would love you, man. You guys would be our best friends. We would be helping you out every step of the way. But instead, you're involved in harassment and extortion.
consider the fact that it's a lady.
Imagine that. Did you guys hear that in the clip? I mean, leave a comment on the video if you're watching this on a restream or you're watching this now. Feel free to leave a comment and let me know. Does it kind of look like those are true statements that if the cops really focused on the important stuff, right? Like crimes, actual crimes, situations that have corpus delicti or a body of evidence or proof of a crime. It's like if the cops were focused on solving those crimes, the public would freaking love them. You would get crime solved in like 2.2 seconds, right? And then here, I'll play the third and last clip speaking to this same point. So we had the Freeman clip that we just watched. We had people doing what people does best. And then this is me giving my best stab at it on Schrodinger's when I was invited up on panel. First time ever coming in contact with any of these creatures over there.
Save lives, you're on three questions.
Right.
And you're
Okay,
wait.
okay, so
just make the
so here is the question. Is what do police do?
They respond
protect.
to crimes. They solve crimes.
They protect people.
Yes.
Yeah.
In a way,
If they're
they
there.
protect people. What's your point?
They run towards gunfire. Okay, there's two claims in there. The first one is respond to crimes. I would agree with that. Solve crimes, number two. Now, the thing about solving crimes, would you agree if they spent the majority of their time solving crimes, and I'm talking about real crimes with real victims, do you think the public would love them or hate them?
Oh
my God.
That's
departments.
There's
different departments.
Okay.
Is that a fair question?
We need to elect one person
Go ahead.
to go back and forth with him, because otherwise it's just going to be a clusterfuck.
Was
that a fair question?
It's your Schrodinger's. Whoever you want to have do it.
I can do it, or you can do it. Do you want to do it, or else I can do it?
I'm more than happy to do
How
it.
about you go
Have at it,
one
Kate.
one question,
All right.
one question, one question. Go back and forth like that.
Anyways, so 3 videos all speaking to kind of the same thing, right? Freeman referenced saving a baby and cops saving a baby, very heroic, right? You don't want to take anything away from that situation, the heroic behavior of a cop, right? Don't want to take that away from them whatsoever, okay? Then you had People, and then People was up there talking to some guy who is more interested in investigating what some whack job lady reported, right? And by the way, I hope you guys know that the information in those videos is embedded in it. So all you got to do is look in there to find out what channel and what video that was. But you can find the original video. And then People is such a good verbal judo black belt, right? That if you're going to be asked an incriminating question, like, are you jumping in and out of the bushes? And I think I'm going to try to quote this word for word, but, it's something along the lines of, well, I wasn't jumping in and out of the bushes, but even if I was, big deal. That's not a crime. So it's like, so that's kind of where I started to learn a little bit about being able to counter some of these stupid incriminating questions that you get thrown at you, right, by cops. And then I'm going to give you this example one more time at the end, because like I said, I've got 2 spoilers, and then it's Happy Halloween. Can we get to 20 likes? I don't think I've even asked anybody to like this video yet. I mean, hopefully you did that on your way in and you're really digging where these shows are going, because I am. Last week, we had Joe Cool, Paul Carroll, Juan Galt, People, Wolverine. We had MCC in the chat. I played Wolverine's videos. I played MCC's videos. I mean, we're just covering the whole gamut, the whole spectrum. And then, of course, you have rights, cops have duties. And everybody knows what happened with that. And if you don't, then, figure it out. I'm not going to catch you up at this point. But anyways, so those 3 videos tie into this Findlay, Ohio video, right? And then, like I said, I'll play the phone call for you when we get to 20 likes. If I could have somebody keep an eye on how many likes we have, that would be great. Let me come back here and just double check comments before I get too far into it. What's up there? You have rights, cops have duties. Welcome in. Wolverine, we've already talked about you, buddy. Oh, Wolverine, by the way, got an obstruction charge, right? There's no corpus delicti. I saw that video. The state has absolutely zero chance in that case. Absolutely zero chance. Do not go for a bench trial, Wolvie. Or okay, I can't give legal advice because I'm not a lawyer. I cannot give any sort of legal advice. If that was me, I would be laughing at that judge. And then I'd bring a couple other guys with cameras in there just so that when I laughed at the judge couldn't take revenge against me and throw me in a cage for 10 days. Then they'd have to bring the sentence down to 7, down to 2. And then ultimately within 24 hours after you go home and you talk to your daddy lawyer is like, well, you kind of violated that guy's constitutional rights left, right, and center. I mean, you kind of screwed the pooch on that one there, new judgy. You might want to let that guy out of jail. And then it speaks to the inflection in the voice, because the things I put on record in Novi are so damning to that court. They're so damning to that new judge. If they come out, that guy's probably going to be the laughing stock judge of the entire county. But anyways, or maybe even the entire country. But that's 17 likes. We're only 3 away. We're only 3 away. For anybody coming in just now that is just showing up, happy Halloween. I certainly hope everybody is having a happy Halloween. Even though you can't comment in here anymore, Lillian, I hope you and your children are having a happy Halloween. I hope those kids got everything they wanted for Halloween. I hope you had the perfect Halloween. How about that, right? So I hope that they got some twin snakes. I also hope that they got some 100 grand bars, right? Maybe they got some Snickers. Snickers really satisfies. That's an ongoing inside joke. If you're watching this on a restream, trust me, all this stuff is going to make sense at some point. But let's get back to the serious stuff, okay? I'll play this video one more time while we wait for our last 3 likes. Thank you for that like total, by the way, people. And then we'll open it up to a panel if we can keep the panel short. If we can keep the panel short, because I got to work tomorrow. Or if somebody wants to guest host, they can guest host until they're until the cows come home, if they want to guest host. So maybe that could be Wolvie, because he can pull up videos and stuff like that. And he doesn't really need me, but I'll talk to him about that in private. Here's the video, and then I'll have the phone call for you to play. It's not as masterful as Freeman's, but trust me, you guys will want to hear this phone call. Ready? It was in response to this video that MCC featured.
All right, guys and gals, this is something I normally don't do. I was reached out to by this new auditor, whose name is Chad Ardner. His link will be in the description. Very first audit, and he was arrested. Let's get the word out for this guy. Give him some love.
Hi, what's going on? Is there anything I can help you with? No? Can I ask what's going on?
You see it?
Okay. What are you recording?
Anything I can see in public, bud.
Okay.
What's your name and badge number?
Officer Schmidt, 1937.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What's your name?
Nope. I didn't break a law, so
okay.
I'm not giving it. Oh, that's the guy that broke the law yesterday.
Oh, what happened yesterday?
Doesn't improper lane change. I would get pulled over for that, right?
Oh, okay.
It's all right for you to do it, right?
So there you go. We'll play the rest of that video. Then we'll play the phone call that I made on behalf of that video that I just found today. It was in the tank, and I believe I meant to play that phone call at some point. But anyways, you can see the title of the video in there, right? So spoiler alert, what happened? We've seen it happen way too many times. Violence was initiated on a peaceful person by dirty little piggies that had to rummage through laws to figure out a reason why they could retaliate. But gee, I don't know. You know, that's my theory. That's my theory, because I'm not those cops. But I did call them to ask what was going on in their little piggy brains. And I wanted to say, hey, you know, start thinking with your piggy brains. Pigs are smart animals, aren't they? I might get in trouble and lose half this audience right now by saying pigs are smart animals. I thought pigs were supposed to be smart animals, guys. So anyways, I'll play the rest of that for you. We just need a couple more likes, and then we're there. Heck of an audit, first time auditing and get arrested. I mean, yeah, that's one hell of a way to come out the gate. That can act as a deterrent to folks. It really can. I would encourage you to pick up the cameras and start recording what you see because of what happened last week and because of what you saw in that video, which was MCC rallying behind somebody that got arrested. Cops Have Duties had tremendous outpouring of support, right, to help him in his cause. And then I had a tremendous amount of help when I got arrested in Novi. So, yes, happy Halloween. Happy Halloween. Hope you guys enjoyed your Halloween. If we get to the 20 likes, that tells me the kiddos are to bed. Or I'm sure they're not to bed yet. They just got a ton of candy. Let's be honest. They're going to be up until 11, 12 o'clock tonight, bouncing off the walls. And if you're a parent tonight, man, you either got to be the jerk parent and tell them only one piece of candy, or, man, your kids are going to be up until midnight. Wolvie, call to action right there. Smash that like button, y'all. Thank you, Wolvie. Appreciate that. By the way, Wolvie, I mentioned you at the beginning of this. I'll continue to mention your bullshit obstruction charge because I saw it. And that little piggy he's lost his piggy marbles. That's what he's done. If they think that charge is going to stick, I would predict, if I had to bet on a horse, that the odds are going to be 100 to 1 that they could prove that case that you were obstructing. 100 to 1, I would say, are the long odds on that one. Frankie MMAs, thank you for coming in here. I hope you had a happy Halloween. And while we're waiting for the 20 likes, while we're waiting on confirmation that the kiddos are in bed, here's what you missed if you're just coming in. Me and Wolvie, we finally found a good cop. We finally found a good cop, right? That was Wolvie. And then this was going to be the original avatar for the channel, and it was going to be Bareback the Blue. And then I thought that was a little over the top. So now we're just going with pig images and playing videos with their piggish behavior on it. And then this was, of course, my Halloween a short time ago. And now all I have time to do is prepare shows. That's all I have time to do is work and prepare on shows. Or I didn't even say that correctly. Prepare for shows and work. That's all I have time for. I don't have time to go out and get costumes because I can't drive. I can't drive 55. So if I can't drive, I'm useless, right? I'm absolutely useless. And then the reason our family isn't together, it's because this guy thought he could beat up her. This guy thought he could beat her up. Look at that. And that ain't having. We're not having that. We are not having that. Then next thing you're going to think you can beat those women. And then you're going to think that you could beat this woman, right? You're not beating the women, all right? Jeez, oh, Pete's. But anyways, I'm pretty sure we're at 20 likes at this point, and then I can reveal the teases to you, okay? Very awesome. Hey, I appreciate that. You have Rates Cops Have Duties. Appreciate that. So anyways, you have Rates Cops Have Duties. How you doing, brother? I would imagine he is doing night and day better. I don't know if he got the injury checked out, but feel free when I open this up to a panel if you want to come up here, give us a quick update on how everything is going for you. If you've talked about it till you're blue in the face and you don't want to do that, there's certainly no obligation to come up here. But anyways, let's get us back on track. I'm going to reveal what the artist rendering for this video was that I covered on Hippie. Oh, and by the way, Wolvie, you're in here. This is a little late, but better late than never. Here you go. And I think tonight's show could actually be titled Better Late Than Never, right? Because I just found the Findlay phone call, the Findlay Police Department phone call that I made. And I didn't think much of it when I made the phone call. But when you guys hear the phone call after seeing the video, there's going to be a lot to talk about. We'll play it tonight. I'll give you the teaser of what the phone call was. And then we're going to have to revisit it at some point this week. I'd also like to revisit Mr. Carroll turning into a Nazi. I really want to revisit that. I want to get Juan Galt's ass up here. Mr. Galt, you're being issued a notice to appear, sir. And then as soon as Top Shelf Anarchy, as soon as Veil Venus can come in here and, you know, wipe the floor with you, we'll get this party started. Who is Veil Venus, you say? Well, this is Veil Venus right here.
Taxation is theft.
So that is Mr. Vale Venus, and hopefully we can get that set up. So hopefully we'll have just as good of a week this week as we had last week. I don't think we could have asked for a better week last week. Oh, thank you, Archangel, for truth. I think I'm a pretty sexy beast as well. Man, me and my buddy that were in that picture that I was going to use for the original avatar, me and my buddy went to the bar, and I got to say, like, I was strutting my stuff. There were a couple people that wanted to fight me, though. But I think it's just because, my milkshake was bringing all the boys to the yard. That's what I think it was. That's honestly what I think it was. But man, talk about a fun night. I don't get to enjoy my nights as much as I used to, and it's because of this impending tyranny that's on its way in. And then we have to talk about issues that nobody's talking about. And so then it makes me worry, and it makes me sit there and go, hey, I can't watch this movie. I'd rather be producing content than watching content. So I'm not trying to sound conceited, but every time I watch content now, it's like, man, I'd rather be making content than watching content. So let's change this background around just a little bit so you can see right there. I am not a trick, guys. I am not a trick. You see that trick poking out right up there? So anyway, are we to 20 likes, by the way? Is there anybody that wouldn't mind giving me a report on whether we're to 20 likes and whether the kids are in bed so the kids aren't watching this violence? And if they're up late eating candy, they probably already seen plenty of violence in their life. So, but just to forewarn you, there's violence that we're going to be showing. Vale Venus, yeah, he's a beast. The dude is an absolute beast, right? I want to pick his brain on a couple other things as well, because there's a few concepts I'm still trying to wrap my head around and process, right? And so, yeah, we freely discussed some of those ideas in past shows, so we don't need to, show 22 likes, 25. Oh my God, thank you guys so much for those 25 likes. I can't tell you how much that means to me. Thank you for spending your Halloween with me. I mean, I feel honored that you guys would want to spend your Halloween with me, but all I had to do today was, prepare for this show. So we got a hell of a show prepared. Here, I'll give you the teaser. We'll just come out with the goods. This is what the pink Constable Piggy looked like. I'll just reveal it to you right now so you don't have to wait. Ready? There's the pink Constable Piggy. Okay. Talk about that software program that Hippie has. Here, I'll play you the clip from Hippie real fast so you kind of know the program that he has over there, because Hippie actually invests money into that program. So, guys, go over to Hippie's channel, sub to Hippie. It's Wandering Hippie now. It used to be Hippie Auditor, but sub to Wandering Hippie's channel. If a mod could put that link in the chat, that would be fantastic. But we had, I'd say, about an hour and a half worth of entertainment out of this software program. So that's about the closest that I get with entertainment nowadays that I get to enjoy, right? So that's what the pink constipated piggy ended up looking like. And then I'll play you the video so you can see the original rendition and then the keywords that it took to trigger the final rendition, which I had, spoiler alert, put up there for you already. So let me make sure I just find the right one. Ready? Here we go.
You give me as many random words as you would like. I will throw it into the program. I mean, we could start with your name. Let's do your name broken just to see what it comes up with, because I usually always love to start with people's names. So let's give it a try. / I am prompt broken system broken. I won't even add any keywords to it. Let's just leave it at the basic. Ooh, look at that, Mrs. J. That's hot. That same picture, man. Hey, you got a word almost. That's very rare.
Yeah.
Do you know, of the 1,000+ pictures that I've made on this program, The only word is not up. Oh shit!
There we go.
I always do that. So there's Trump. Mrs. J was just fucking around with, and let's check out the constipated piggy. Look at this.
Constipated.
It's funny. There's a signature there.
Oh, that's cool.
You should add a constable.
That's like a piggy on acid.
Let me try. I'll try to trigger it to put a uniform on.
Pink piggy constipated constable.
Piggy constipated constable.
And then watch how this program renders this stuff, guys. Like, it's just absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this is great. Oh shit, it's gonna be.
I know it's hard to see because the image
Oh,
is
that
small,
is cool. What? That's brilliant.
It's so cool how it changes.
Cool as fuck. That's so funny. The fourth one's brilliant.
Definitely the fourth one's getting upgraded.
That's so funny.
There's words, but they're not really words. Oh yeah, that's a great cop icon.
That's brilliant.
That is pretty hot. Kind of, what is that? Looks like a Chinese guy with one of those Chinese hats. I don't know what you call it, but it's a lot of people camping right there. What's going on? Is this a Brokeback Mountain festival?
So there you go. That's how you get computer software to generate artist quality rendition of what a pink constipated piggy, and then you add constable to that. And then I think there was one other word in there. But anyways, those were the four options. I would 100% agree with the crowd that said that lower right image was absolutely the best, because that's what we came up with for that. So anyways, happy Halloween, folks. Happy Halloween. Hope you're enjoying your Halloween. We are unofficially sponsored by Snickers. Snickers, it really satisfies. 100 grand, right? That was my favorite candy when I was a kid. 100 grand bar. Ooh, I tell you, if anybody is willing to trade for 100 grand bar, hell yeah. And then the Twin Snakes, I always love me some gummies, right? And then I'll say it again to you, Lillian. I hope you enjoyed your Halloween, okay? And I hope you enjoyed your Halloween with your children. How about that, right? So anyway, that's where we're at as far as what we had queued up for the show tonight. We already got to our likes, so I can play the Finley thing for you and then open this up to a panel. We're not going long tonight, guys. We are absolutely not going long, but we have to come back to a lot of the clips that we already played. If you're just coming in, rewind the stream and check out what we were talking about, because all of this ties in together and it ties into Finley. And then I'm going to play the Finley phone call for you, open this up to a panel, and then we can get out of here, okay?
All right, guys and gals, this is something I normally don't do. I was reached out to by this new auditor whose name is Chad Ardner. His link will be in the description. Very first audit, and he was arrested. Let's get the word out for this guy. Give him some love.
Hi, what's going on? Is there anything I can help you with? No? Can I ask what's going on?
You see it?
Okay. What are you recording?
Anything I can see in public, bud.
Okay.
What's your name and badge number?
Officer Schmidt, 1937.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What's your name?
Nope. I didn't break the law, so
Okay.
I'm not giving it. Oh, that's the guy that broke the law yesterday.
No. What happened yesterday?
Does improper lane change. I would get pulled over for that, right?
No. Okay.
It's all right for you to do it, right? Right? Name and badge number, please.
Kyle Sowers, 1884.
You?
What's your question?
Name and badge number.
Zaplowski 353.
Thank you.
You're not allowed to be videotaping in the courthouse.
Yeah. Oh, where's that? What law is that, bud?
It's the court's rules.
Court's rule. That's in the courtroom, not the courthouse. So
It
get
includes their
physical building as
well.
it doesn't.
It does.
Show
now,
me.
now we're in the street now, so now we're inviting the sidewalks present.
Yeah.
We're not. write you a citation for walking the street.
Okay, write him a citation.
He's not in the street.
I'm
He's
not in the
Southport.
street.
Yeah. You were in the street when you stopped and talked to him.
Let me talk to the sergeant.
Okay, he's right there.
Just because I'm recording, he's going to ask me for my ID. Come on. This is why I'm down here.
That's not what happened.
This is why I'm down here. That car is blocking the sidewalk there.
What car?
That car.
Sidewalk is right on the other side of the street.
Where does it say no trespassing?
Police department policy. The sidewalk's over there. You're on the street.
Jaywalking.
You're in the
Jaywalking.
street.
No, I'm not. So
You
the
were in
bikes
the
can't.
street when
Bikes
you
are no
stopped
one.
and we were
No one
talking.
can. Yeah, I understand that.
Okay.
Then you try
So
to
you're
get
in
my
the
ID.
street. Yes, because I'm going to write you a citation for being in the street because there's sidewalks present on either side.
That's
Sidewalks
crazy.
present.
That
So
is crazy.
now I'm going to ask for your ID.
I'm not giving it.
Okay, then I guess we're going to go with the obstruction around.
That is the funniest thing I have ever heard. No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
Yes, you do.
Why?
Because
Because you're walking in the street. It's a violation of law.
I was not walking in the street. If I was walking
You're
in
in
the
the street right now.
No, I'm not. What is this?
This is part of the street.
What is this? What are these lines for?
And that's a sidewalk over there.
Let me talk
That's
to the
where
captain.
you're supposed to be.
Let me
You're not
talk
talking to the captain.
Let me talk to the captain.
Nope. Do what you gotta do.
Identify
Okay.
yourself.
I'm
So
not
I'm gonna ask one more
identifying.
time. All right,
Identify
you're under
yourself.
arrest for obstruction. You're under arrest. Stop resisting. Stop resisting. Stop resisting.
What am I doing?
You're
I'm
resisting.
not doing anything.
So there you go, watchdogs. You got your violence. Did you see your violence? It actually gets worse. I'm cutting it off there. I'm not giving the watchdogs everything what they want. You have to actually go either watch it on MCC's channel, or I believe it's CRA audits, if I remember off the top of my head. Again, that happened 4 months ago. So let's put up this banner so you can see what I'm talking about. Here's now the phone call that I made to Findlay, Ohio, because this problem runs much, much deeper than what you just saw in the video. What you just saw in the video was relevant today. It was relevant 4 months ago. And then my guess is that it's going to be relevant 4 months from now if we don't start talking about this shit. Okay? So here's a phone call to Findlay, Ohio. And then you tell me if you think the problems are worse. By the way, we're going to do a full breakdown of that video because it's speaking to what, is going on today. So even though it's 4 months old, we're going to talk about the ideas in that video and analyze it on a different night. But here's the phone call I made to Findlay, Ohio.
Sergeant's office. Oh, hello. I was just wondering, I'm not sure exactly which department to contact.
By the way, can you guys hear that all right? Because I'm kind of playing it ghetto style off the recording device that I had it on. But can somebody just give me a 1 if you could hear that fine? That was the beginning of the phone call. I don't want to get too far into it. If you guys, 29 likes, you guys are too nice. You guys are too nice. For a live stream that's not monetized, that's, I think, pretty damn good. Thank you so much for that. So can you guys hear that okay? Cop Block Hot Springs, thank you for confirming. Thank you for confirming. Okay, here's the rest of the phone call.
Do you have like a chief or a lieutenant or anything like that? We do, yeah. Oh, okay. What's the chief's name? Robert Rain. Robert Rain? Yeah. Oh, okay. And then, are there any lieutenants or anybody else kind of in the chain of command that might be available right now? I just have a few questions. I don't have anybody with me right here. Our normal patrol lieutenant is on vacation this week. Oh, okay. So if you want, I'll give you. Did you call to the dispatch first? Because they have the phones are able to switch you over. You know what? I don't remember exactly. The number I called, it was. I'll give you. Let me see. It was. I'll give you the. 419. Okay, I'll give you the number. And then just tell them you want to leave a message for the lieutenant. Okay, well, instead of just leaving a message, maybe I could just talk to the highest ranking person that I can today, just to avoid leaving a message. And I'm an officer in charge. Oh, okay. If you want, because the two regular sergeants that are supposed to be in the office right now, for probably another 15-20 minutes, are going to be at a computer training. Oh, gotcha. So if you call back after something like after like 4:15, 4:30, they'll definitely be back.
Okay.
Here, and you can talk to them. They would be the highest ranking with the patrol right now.
Okay.
We're kind of the sergeant. They're the ones responsible for the road right now.
Oh, okay. And your name one more time was Sergeant what?
My name's Ian. It's not Sergeant, it's Officer Andrews. I'm just officer in charge. I'm just the highest ranking.
Officer Andrews. Okay.
Right now, that's with them in the training right now. So.
Okay. Well, maybe I could leave him a message at some point. Let me just see if I can just confirm some basic information real quick to make sure.
If you call back after 4, you'd be able to talk to them.
Okay, well, I'm sure you could probably help me confirm some information. Do you have Officer Schmidt that works there, and then Saplowski, I believe?
I can't release any information because I'm not on the chain of command as far as releasing information. I can't.
Oh.
If you want to talk to the supervisor after 4, they would be able to talk to you about certain information. So I have to be given permission to release any information, and I'm not given permission. So they probably have talked to the chain of command with you. Mentioning their names, I know what you're calling about, so you'll definitely have to call and talk to them.
Oh, what do you think I was calling about?
So if you want to talk to the supervisor about it, you can call after 4. I'm not going to be able to answer any other questions.
Oh, no. You just said I kind of know what you're calling about, and I was just wondering what, what.
If you have any questions about officers, you'll have to call back after 4. I can't release any information. Okay?
Oh, okay. So have you had other calls regarding this?
I have not, no.
Okay, because kind of what I do.
I've been in charge for an hour and a half. So.
Yeah, because kind of what I do is I review videos that are on like YouTube, and then I reach out and I contact the police departments, and then I kind of try to help everybody out. Like if you see something or some behavior that was wrong, and you try to pinpoint.
There's nothing else I can say. So if you want to talk to them after 4, I mean, if you want to wait after 18 minutes here, they'll be here. So they're supposed to be here around 4. So.
Well, it sounds like that.
You're not going to get any more from me.
Oh yeah. No. I don't want to try to ask you about an ongoing incident or something. I just try to, like I said, I try to pinpoint certain bad behaviors and then kind of help people work through like in the future what we should do instead of like what happened. Because what happened could happen, right? You can't change the past. So there's no point really even talking about that. But I'm just wondering, Findlay, Ohio, how many phone calls have you received? Would you get?
I haven't received any because I've been in charge for an hour and a half.
Oh, okay, but you said earlier when I told you the names and tried to verify something.
I haven't received any.
You haven't received any, but you've heard other people talk about it.
I haven't, no.
Yeah, because kind of what I do is I'll give you a little bit of background.
Okay. Well, I don't have any more information. There's nothing else I can do. So if you want to talk to somebody, you can call back after 4. I've made that clear. I have nothing. We're just spinning our wheels here. There's nothing more because I have work to do here, and we're just talking about nothing. So if you want to call back and talk to a sergeant, you can call back after 4. Okay?
Are you getting angry with me?
There's nothing. I'm not getting angry. I have work to do. There's nothing more. You have a question for me?
Oh well, I was just gonna try to have like a regular conversation with you and just.
Okay, I don't have time for a conversation. I have a shift to run, so okay. I have work to do, and I don't have time for a conversation. So if you want to talk to a sergeant about a matter, you can call back after 4 here, just a few minutes.
Yeah, I was about to say maybe Findlay isn't as bad as it looked on the video, but from the attitude I'm getting here, I'm kind of thinking twice.
I've been clear. There's no information I can give. If you want to talk to a sergeant, you can call back after 4.
Do you want to know what grade?
Okay. All right. Well, I've given you what the information I can. There's no more information I can give. So I've told you my answer. So you can call back after 4. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thanks. Goodbye.
Who is the sergeant? So there's the phone call. Either that or I think we got disconnected because I don't think that public servant would have been that rude to disconnect the phone call. What'd you guys think of that phone call? By the way, I barely even remembered that phone call. I didn't know that there was that much information contained in that one phone call. So I'll leave it up to you guys. I mean, we can open it up to a panel. We can break down that phone call because I don't know how much you guys caught in that first one because I didn't catch it the first time, but there was so much information given away.
throughout that phone call. And I'm not trying to say like Freeman is a master and Bao is a master at the phone call thing, and like they really play like they're on their side at the beginning, or like that's one of the tactics that they use. And man, they get a ton of information that way. But I love what happened on that phone call, because it kind of shows. Here, I'll give you just one example of why I think I need to break down that phone call, because the guy says, I don't have time to deal with this. But then he also said that they had received many, many phone calls on this. Okay, so if you don't have time to deal with that, and it's true, and which I would agree with, like you guys shouldn't have to waste your time on that stuff, well, then you should be making the case for your piggies to stop acting like piggies. That would be the safest way. That would cut you. Do you know how much of a time saver that would be? If you guys, instead of retaliating against a cameraman, were out there solving real crimes, which again ties into the whole point to what we started wrapping this whole show around, right? So again, guys, so do you see how the week kind of came full circle? And now we've got a bunch of jumping off points for the rest of the week. That was the show that I had prepared for you guys. We're at an hour 14 minutes. So I'll leave it up to you guys. Do you guys want to open this up to a panel and maybe talk to some people on a Halloween night? It's up to you guys. If you guys want to just eat the candy that you stole from your kid, I always go through and I always make sure that I take at least like a third of the candy from my kids. I take at least a third of the candy from my kids, and like, you really got to focus on just like reaching in there aggressively, and then like eye contact is key with kids, right? You're like, this is how taxation works, kids. This is taxation in a nutshell. You got to teach your kids. That's what we're going after. This is a show for the kids tonight. Hopefully they didn't have to watch that violence, but anyway, that kind of ties into the direction hopefully this show is going, and we can have this discussion sooner rather.
Taxation is theft.
That's for all my fellow clown lovers. That's for all my fellow clown lovers. Let's switch the ticker on the bottom, scrolling across, so you can see what we're trying to set up. This has to happen. This has to happen on this lower ticker right here. This discussion has to happen. So let me come back to the comments, because I asked you guys if you wanted to review that phone call, which I'm coming back to that video and the Freeman video and all the videos I played on this to have a healthy discussion about this one night, as well as Mr. Carroll being a Nazi. We're going to come back to that eventually. I keep saying that. But insubordination is key to freedom, while compliance is against the very nature of freedom. Yeah, I mean, when it's all said and done, that's exactly right. You know what I mean? Happy Halloween with the clowns. I love clowns. Let's put it that way. The movie that had the best clown of all time, right? Pennywise. Who's your favorite scary character out of a Halloween movie? I did ask that in another chat, and like nobody answered it. They're like, we've got people being arrested. We've got people being retaliated against. We have no time to answer who our favorite scary movie character was. So get out of here with those silly questions, right? Anyways, don't know what the veil comment was. I was not up on chat, guys. I have not been up on chat this entire time. But it looks like we've got a Chucky. That's a good one right there. Chucky may just be the Joe Montana of the horror movie genre. And then happy Halloween. Whoever you are very festive tonight. And I appreciate you make it very easy for me to go through and make this such a festive occasion for all of us. Because it is Halloween today. We've gone through the Halloween month with one hell of a month. And now we got Thanksgiving coming up. So now we're going to have to turn the focus away from scaring the shit out of each other we're going to have to turn the focus into what we're grateful for and what we're appreciative of. And I'm appreciative that I get to be here with you guys tonight, because I know these discussions, if Freeman's talking about it, if people's talking about it, if, you know, if I can kind of take the torch from them and kind of run with it and go to Schrodinger's to try to bridge the gap, which, by the way, Ironton Auditor, you need to switch your name to Ironton Watchdog. You're a watchdog, man. You are a watchdog. I know you're trying to promote the discussions, but the other side is not interested in having the discussions. They see you like they saw me, like a weak pansy. That's how they're looking at you, Ironton Auditor. Okay? They're looking at you like the weak pansy that just gives them a free pass and tosses them up softball questions. That's why they're flocking to your channel. You basically have a watchdog channel, Ironton Auditor, and I'm kind of ashamed of you, man. I'm kind of ashamed of you that you'd let that go. And then you let Wolfie go through that with Kick and that other guy. Man, I should have been there to try to have Wolfie's back. Although Wolfie is capable of biting that ass a couple times, I would have liked to have been there to lend my support. So anyways, you guys want to open it up to a panel? Give me a 1. Guys want to do a breakdown of the phone call? Give me a 2. If you want to get out of here, save that for another night. Give me a 3. Regardless what option we pick, we are going to have a very short-lived rest of this live stream so that I can get to bed and I can be up for work tomorrow. So anyways, 1, if you would like to, what was 1 again? See, you guys got to help me with this, right? You guys got to help me keep on track. Oh, breakdown of the phone call, 1. 2, open up a live panel, or 3, none of the above and save it for a different stream. So if we could get a vote, and then if there's no vote, then that means I suck. So let's please get votes in here. Let's please get votes in here. Panel time. All right, we got 1 vote for panel time. Maybe I did the 1, 2, 3 backwards or sideways or twisted or whatever. But you guys want to do panel, break down a phone call, or end the stream now? I mean, people's got pretty much a trump card vote, I would say, considering that, you know, kind of like the resident attorney on this channel, Mr. Carroll, I say people is the resident guest host of the channel. So 1, 2, and 3, Cop Block Hot Springs, really? I guess I asked for it, didn't I? I asked for that one, Cop Block Hot Springs. Also, if you guys didn't know, let me make a quick announcement, and then I'll throw let me throw the panel link in the chat, and then I've got a brief announcement. I think there's going to be content coming on another channel. There's actually 2 new channels I'm aware of that are coming out, and I'm very excited about both these channels. Both these channels are set right now to really take off and do well, okay? And then if I get confirmation from both parties, I will announce what the 2 channels are and kind of how I'm associated with those channels. But we can leave that a mystery for now. But that is exciting news. So hold on. I'm just trying to get the link in the chat. Just trying to get the link in the chat. If Jackson was here, he could read the chat. You know what I mean? Because Jackson used to read the chat on all my live streams, but my little buddy had to go out trick-or-treating tonight, which is perfectly understandable. I got some pictures of his costumes too, but some people have told me not to put images of kids on social media, and it's bad, and like there's this weird stuff about images of kids on social media. But then we had that discussion with Joe Cool, and then we had a girl deep throating a bottle of beer. So, you know, the girl deep throating the bottle of beer, like that, won the conversation way more than what's appropriate and not appropriate to put on social media when it comes to kids. So we got a guest in the house. Oh. People is in the show. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
yeah. How are we doing tonight?
Tricky Dicky.
Right. Well, we're tricks, man. I hope you see on the upper center of the screen here. But we can change that if you don't want to be a trick. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be a treat, we can see how this other view looks when we're both up on here. But I didn't have a chance to play with it, obviously, for somebody else to come up. But let's see. Oh yeah, we want to be a treat, don't we?
Sure.
Sure.
Trick or treat.
Right. Next thing you know, you're going to try to convince me that CNN is real news now.
I mean, the thing is that I've never criticized CNN or Fox News. I do consider them real news. I just they don't show like the same things that we're showing, right? But they do show things that are real and that are really
exactly. They cherry pick a hot story, or they cherry pick a narrative that they want to push at the time, and that should be pretty obvious. I think that was a pretty fair claim to make, wasn't it? Or a pretty safe claim to make.
Yeah, but who doesn't do that? I mean,
right.
There's a lot going on in the world, okay? Nobody can cover it all. You cover what interests you, what you think is important, right?
Well, trick-or-treating is what I think is important. You know what I mean? And doing what's right by the kids, and then wait until we got to 20 likes before I showed anything violent. But the watchdogs had to hang in there, but they ended up getting what they paid for tonight if they stuck it out throughout the whole thing. They got to see their violence.
Yeah, the colonialists.
Oh yeah, the colonialists, they have to see violence. They have to. It's like they're so addicted to violence. The only thing more addictive than a cop with ID is violence to a watchdog or a colonialist. I'm sticking by that theory and that claim as well. What do you think about that claim?
Wait, say that again?
Violence to a watchdog or violence to a colonialist is even more powerful of an addiction than a cop with ID.
Oh, yeah. I get it.
I mean, because they go crazy in the comments, like cheering on, like, man, that guy got tased so good. Like, I saw him send 42 taser shots to the guy's groin and his nutsack, and we couldn't have been happier. The 41st one wasn't enough. The 42nd one was the one that really put the cherry on top of the sundae.
Yeah. For sure. They always want more. It's never enough. Tase them again.
Yeah, exactly. Tase them again, break the windows. And I got to tell you, there's some encouraging signs. I've actually peaked, and I'm going to get in trouble with my YouTube wife for admitting this on a live stream. But live streams, once you put it on YouTube, it's on YouTube forever. So, but I was peeking over at a rival channel. And I got to tell you, there's a lot of people catching on to the whole loving of violence thing. And now I'm starting to see a lot more comments than just my comments over there. So I'm not saying I'm responsible for that happening. I'm just saying I'm very happy that more and more people are starting to catch on and really starting to hammer that point home.
Speaking of hammering that point home, did you see Paul Pelosi got hammered?
Yes, I did. And we talked about that on a live stream. Then I actually saw the news report, and I'm just thinking, didn't the news just dox Nancy Pelosi?
I don't know.
Well, Probably. They gave out the full address on the report that I saw, and they showed the house, the aerial view of the house. So it's like they just doxed the shit out of him. That 82-year-old is not safe no matter where he is now.
I mean, I'm surprised that the speaker's house isn't more protected than it is.
Oh yeah, I mean, you would think if you're third in line, you'd have at least maybe 1-2 Secret Service agents assigned to you. You would think.
I mean, you'd think your house would be more secure than that. I don't know. I don't know that you need 1 or 2 or
right. He didn't have to Mission Impossible himself into that residence. All he had to do was grab a simple hammer for what, $5, maybe $2 at a garage sale.
Yeah, I mean, sponsored by Ace Hardware. Shit.
And no, Bob, just to answer your question, I did not check out the video yet, but Ace Hardware. That's a good plug. See, I need to go fetch Ace Hardware's logo for the rest of the streams this week, and then I promise I'll behave for the rest of the week. If there's a sponsor out there that wants to pick this show up, like Cash App, I promise I'll continue using Cash App because it's my favorite way to currency.
Well, Ace Hardware has been sponsoring break-ins, kidnappings for a long time. Long time.
Explain, because I think I'm missing an obvious point here, and I'm trying not to sound stupid.
I mean, that's where you get crowbars and duct tape and rope and.
Oh yeah, I mean they should put red flag laws on all those hammers now.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like more government overreach is what we need in this situation, right? Just like the kid that they couldn't prevent in St. Louis from doing what he did. Like if those red flag laws had just been slightly stricter, he wouldn't have done it.
Oh, of course not. If that was a no hammer zone,
you can't touch this.
Yeah.
I heard the slogan there is that you can't touch this.
Yeah, you heard it. You know.
And
Yeah,
then wouldn't you know, as I'm reviewing the videos and getting stuff queued up, I'm dead serious when I stumbled across that Finley phone call. I don't know if I just thought it was better than it actually was, but there were quite a few revealing things in that phone call. I don't know if you were able to hear it or not.
I mean, well, you can't not give up any information. I mean, he basically admitted that it's a thing and that he can't talk about it. So that means that it's been talked about.
Right. And then he says, well, I don't know. The thing is, like, I kept catching him in lies, so I kept, having to circle back. So every time I would circle back, and then, of course, he would do his famous, well, oh, I'm busy, I got to go. It's like, okay, so you guys are busy and you can't deal with shit like this. Maybe you should stop retaliating, and maybe you should start going out and looking to solve real crimes.
Right. Absolutely.
And by the way, I don't know if you caught on to the influence that you had with the Schrodinger's question, and I think I've asked you this before, but that's kind of where my whole ordeal with the Schrodinger's crowd came in, was because I kind of led off with the question that I heard you ask with that guy who came up to you, giving you a hard time.
That guy? Narrow it down.
When you started in the video I played earlier of yours, where you had to tell the guy, if you guys were out solving rapes and you were go solve a crime. You're here badgering me. If you were out solving crime, people would love you. You'd have the public support. You would have no problem being loved.
Right.
So,
but that's not the game they're in, though. So, I mean, it's a catch-22. They can't just abandon their whole way of life. They're about controlling crime, and controlling crime means being the most criminal.
Well, I think I have another theory on why it's so bad. Here, I'm going to play this real quick because this speaks to the Ohio thing, too.
Butt control in the butt.
That's how they crack a back in Ohio. That is official footage, and you saw it here. So you've seen the video evidence. It's undeniable. And that's how they crack back.
That's backcracking, is what that is?
That is backcracking. But when I first saw the video, I had the same exact idea you did. So don't think that there was anything wrong. Oh, we have a guest. I'm going to bring up You Have Rights, Cops Have Duties for just a second, people. And we'll just get a quick update from him. Silent Auditor, you should be in the show. How's it going? Can you hear
This is You Have Rights, Cops Have Duties, but Silent Auditor is right here.
Oh, hey, how's it going, guys?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, glad you're out.
Yeah, glad you're out, too.
Oh, thank you, guys. Thank you so much for this support. It's bigger than I can even think about. Even if nobody was able to help me, all the support verbally and through the comments and stuff is so big. I wouldn't have been disappointed if I wouldn't have even been able to get any help, but I appreciate it so to a big extent.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, well, you're on the short answer with this. You're welcome. Whatever I could do, whatever little part I played. I mean, MCC was there for me. Wolverine was there for me to bail me out of jail last time I went unjustly. So, whatever little part we played, I'm ecstatic to see that.
Are you guys there?
Yeah, can you hear me? Well, you have rights, cops have duties. If you can hear me, let me know. While we're waiting for a confirmation on the audio, some of your favorite Halloween candy is right here. Speaking of being out of jail, you're able to go get some Halloween candy. But can you hear us? Oh, you have rights, cops have duties, drop down. Did you want to make a comment on that, people?
Yeah, I just want to, if he's listening or whatever, I like how you made him drag you. I did like that part.
Yes, yeah, that was pretty good. And I almost left that up. I almost left that video clip up, just to show an example of the violence, and whether somebody agrees with the word violence in there. That's exactly what it is. When you're dragging somebody, you're committing a violent act on them. When you have them in handcuffs and you're pulling them against their will, that's violence.
Yeah.
You're violating them.
Yeah.
You don't want that done to you. You would never want that done to you.
Right. It looks like, normally it looks like they're not committing violence, but when
yeah,
you don't,
right.
when you
In
don't
almost
walk for them,
100%, in almost 100% of these videos, there's nobody committing a violent act except for the people getting away with the crimes. But silent
Right.
auditor, you have rights, cops have duties is back. Hopefully your audio is good. Oh,
he's gone.
And he's gone.
Yeah.
Just that quick, but I don't know if it's technical issues on your end. You have rights, cops have duties. Here's what kind of threw me off before the show started up. I got a notification on my phone that stated that the storage was so low that some of the clips on this show would not work properly. So of course that's a great way to start off a show, right? It's like, oh great, I don't even know if this show's gonna work tonight.
Yeah. I hate it when that happens.
I hate it when that happens as well. So let's add you have rights, cops have duties one more time. Is third time a charm?
It sounds like you just need a memory card, Broken.
Hello?
Oh, there we go. There we go. Memory cards would help.
You guys can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Yep.
Yeah.
Can you hear us?
All right, perfect. Yeah, I was having a little bit of internet problems anyway. This is Silent Auditor. I just wanted to start out by saying yeah, and thank you guys. Thank you guys for all your support, man. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. You're welcome. Absolutely. You're absolutely welcome.
Yeah. But we're gonna have you have rights, cops have duties, and me sitting here bullshitting right now. But I'm gonna put him on the mic to you guys because he's got a couple things to say to you.
All right.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
I don't have very much to say as much as I'm confused, like a little bit like just shell shocked and everything. But if you guys have questions or something or anything, but at the same time we can just talk about anything else also.
Yeah, I have a question for you. Have you ever recorded a phone call that you made on behalf of another activist? And it's okay whether it's yes or no. I'm not trying to get you involved in a trick question or anything, but have you ever, recorded a phone call that you made? Because I'm definitely interested in maybe featuring that as a part of this show. Is if folks out there wanted to send me some of their phone calls that they make.
I have a video that I haven't even. I have a video I recorded of an audio about Danbury Police Department in regards to Long Island audit that I haven't even posted on my channel or posted anywhere else that I could attempt to find in my documents. If you give me a second, I could play.
No rush, and we can always revisit this later on this week. I didn't mean to put you on the spot. What I meant though is to spark the discussion, because I've been big on that on this channel, is just trying to show some other folks that may not want to be out on the streets doing cop watching, just to give them an idea or maybe empower them that that's something they can do, is make phone calls on behalf of something they see somebody else doing. Because it's still it's very easy, convenient, because it's from your phone. You know what I mean? It just takes a couple seconds usually, and then who knows? It may be a futile effort, but you may end up with a golden phone call. You know what I mean? You may end up with something that happened that is really significant. But even if you come up empty-handed, just the phone call itself is enough to remind those that need to hear it of where the power really lies.
Yeah, some things that are said in a phone call between you and a public service agent, you might not pick up on, that somebody else in the crowd might pick up on. And
oh, yeah. Well, it looks like we got roboting. You have rights, cops have duties.
Experience in talking with some of these coward public service agents.
Yeah, you were
What's
roboting
up?
for a little bit of that. You were roboting
Oh, I
a little
was?
bit. Your audio was roboting a little bit, so we kind of picked up the latter sentence there.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it sounds better now. Yeah.
I was trying to mention that that making phone calls is a good way to build experience, and that you might not pick up on something in your phone call with a public service agent that somebody else in the crowd might pick up on, and be able to disseminate that information in a way that others can understand that maybe you might not have even picked up on, in order to teach others to understand that topic. You know what I mean?
And all I would ask is anybody that chooses to do this, try to either be respectful or try to, ask the probing questions if you're skilled in that, area. I'm trying to get better at asking the probing questions, but, just the simple fact that you make a phone call, I have to think it's going to start being effective at some point. And if it's not, then I'm still going to be optimistic that still stands a chance to be effective.
It's so irritating, because it's hard to be in a movement where you're trying to bring education, but at the same time everybody's trying to get you to be their idea of respectful, or their idea of it's other terms for their idea of compliant. So I suggest being you, and if that means that's half Tourette's or full-on Tourette's, I don't feel that the agent or the agency is in a place to determine anything, and that the mere fact, or that they've only been telling us that they can determine things in the lack of the camera and the platform that we can publish things on. You know what I mean? Now it's time to start talking real about the things that they've attempted to make us believe that have only been, they've taught us that beating us down and sticking us in their jails is a norm, and then that's just what you get. But in fact, you're supposed to get due process and equal protection under a law. You see what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, and I think we were talking about this either on Hippie's channel or somewhere else, but
possibly,
but the psychology of it is, the government is basically teaching you that it's okay to steal, it's okay to beat people down, and you get rewarded for it. So the psychology of that is, of course, that's what you're going to pick up on. That's why the watchdogs, I think, that's one of the underseated reasons why the watchdogs do what they do.
Yeah, and
the colonialists.
These servants are not indentured; they're oathed. You see what I'm saying? So nobody chose to give them a paycheck. They actually went and oathed themselves to the service. And the thing about it is that they have lost the way, and then now they're acting disgusting, as if they own the public instead of serve the public. And if they could get back to serving the public, we could get back to respecting them and trusting them.
Well, I consider anybody that's that has that thought process that you just laid out an ally of mine, and I can't see anybody. I can't see the logic behind anybody that allies themselves on the opposite side of that aisle.
Yeah.
So I mean, violence is violence, and wrongdoing is wrongdoing, and You know, I had a back and forth with Mr. Carroll in the comments on the video or the live stream we tried doing for you. And I had a back and forth with Mr. Carroll. There's still one question I don't believe Mr. Carroll has answered, and that's who initiated physical force. To this day, I still don't think he has answered who initiated physical force in your arrest video.
Hey, we just got informed that the pigs were driving past my mom's house real slow tonight. So there was some things. I don't know what happened, but I think somebody was up in the desert target practicing, and then somebody from town has called and said, "Oh my gosh, your Civil War era sounding firearm is scaring me." So I don't know how long I can be on this panel. I think I should hit the streets and protest.
Well, yeah. If you got to run and got to check in on stuff, I certainly understand that. Just remember, 5 a.m. in the morning, you could have 8 of them, 8 of those little piggies surrounding your house. So, you know, you got to kind of be on guard. You got to be on guard, and that's, you know, I would say maybe 15, 20 years ago, I would have said that sounds paranoid. But after watching the James Freeman video that he just released, which, you know, I
them
touched on
gangbangers coming up in a whole fucking group walking towards the house like they're some kind of something they tell us that the Crips and Bloods would do, even though they're trying to build fear.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I mean, hey, just be vigilant. You know what you got to do. You know, you don't need me to tell you.
We don't have videos like that of MS-13 brazenly walking down the street in patches and colors, coming towards somebody's house with impunitive thoughts in their heads and maximum authority with the maximum violence and the maximum control that they were looking like they were going to do. And then that was funny how James pointed out how that one guy struggled to get his shotgun out and he's tootling down the street afterwards.
Yeah.
Those
the most violent of them all was there to have everybody else's back in case the 7 others needed reinforcement.
Yeah, it was so egregious.
Well, James Freeman has a beautiful way of breaking stuff.
Yeah, we gotta go. There's cop cars parked out in front of the house. We're gonna get going and go and do this thing.
Okay, keep us updated, man. Right. Keep us updated. Hey, just try to be safe out there, man.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Time to do some spooky ass cop watching.
Well,
bye, guys.
All right.
Take care, guys.
Yeah, well, the last time You Have Rights was on the show, he was saying that he was thinking about quitting doing all this.
Yeah, he seems quite re-energized. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I can totally understand that, because when I got sent to jail and people thought that would teach me my lesson, all it did was motivate me even more. I mean, it actually backfired because... And I wanted to say this when You Have Rights, Cops Have Duties was up here, because it was going to speak to the point he was making, which, people used to fear judgment at some point in life. The majority of folks, I think, actually had a fear of judgment in the afterlife, right? So they would kind of try to act right and act with integrity. And it seems like right now, the cameras should be the instant reminder that you're going to be judged at some point. So I don't know how that message gets missed, but did I sum that up in a way that just, lost you, or did that make sense?
No, that made sense.
Okay.
But I was thinking about, you brought up Paul Carroll, and then I remembered about, the sovereign citizen thing. And then I went back to, I'm still trying to figure out, because Juan Galt claims to have invented the sovereign citizen thing.
Oh, well, yes, he did.
Yeah. And I was just reminded of Ike Clanton saying, "Law don't go around here, law dog."
Law don't go around here, law dog.
Yeah. I'm wondering if he was one of the first sovereign citizens, or if it was actually Wyatt Earp.
I mean, if you had the founders of the Sovereign Citizens, I think they've got like a Mount Rushmore of their own, but it's like located somewhere out in the Midwest somewhere. And it might be like on a cattle ranch somewhere. And it's only a rumor that this Mount Rushmore exists, but I've heard Juan Galt's face is on that Mount Rushmore.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, he's on there. I've been there. I've seen it and shit. Yeah, for sure. But Wyatt Earp, was Wyatt Earp a sovereign citizen?
Oh fuck yeah. He had to be.
He went and killed all the cowboys and shit.
If only we could do that in real life to the football team.
He did do that in real life, and then he moved to San Francisco, and he was never charged. He lived out his life in San Francisco.
And he was like, just forget about all that stuff I did down there.
Yeah, nobody cared. But, I mean, I'm just saying that he murdered a lot of peeps under the, having the badge.
Under the color of law, yeah.
Yeah, he did.
And I love it when, folks in the opposite camp are like in the whole, a sovereign citizen just doesn't believe in laws or whatever, because that's a comment that I'll get oftentimes. And then it's like, oh, if you guys want to talk about laws, can we talk about the federal law, the Section 242, Title 18, deprivation of rights under color of law, and then what is it, 241, conspiracy against those rights? So it's like, if you want to talk about law, why don't we talk about those laws?
But since we're talking about Tombstone, it was in that very movie where I don't remember. Oh, Virgil Earp said, "We're not saying that you can't carry your guns. We're just saying you can't carry your guns in town."
Right, exactly. Yeah, we'll tell you where you can and where you can't carry those guns.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're not pieces of shit for trying to regulate you and tell you what you can and can't do and where you can do it. Even though we're doing it right now and we're not setting a good example.
Yeah, that movie was really foreshadowing. I was a bootlicker way back then when that movie came out. But when I heard that, I was like, WTF? How does that make sense and shit?
Yeah, that would be a wake-up moment, I would think. I'm not familiar with the movie, so
what?
In the story, yeah, I'm gonna be in trouble, aren't I?
Oh my God, Taylor, you have got to see that movie. Holy shit!
Yeah, there's
Val Kilmer as Doc Holliday.
I remember Val Kilmer as Ice. That he was Ice. So Val Kilmer, he ruined every other role for me because he would always be Ice. Iceman. I believe it was Iceman, actually.
Yeah, it was Iceman. But him in Tombstone as Doc Holliday might have destroyed Ice.
Doc Holliday would have destroyed. Well, Iceman.
Yeah, in popular culture, I think that Val Kilmer is way more remembered for saying, "I'm your Huckleberry," and for saying that I might be seeing double, but I got a gun for the eaches of you. Or I got one for the eaches of you as he's spinning his 6-shooters.
Yeah. See, and I've heard the "I'll be your Huckleberry." I've heard that one.
That's Val Kilmer as Doc Holliday.
Yeah, but it's nowhere near as popular as some of the Top Gun quotes. I mean, those ones are just
like what? Give me a Top Gun quote by Iceman.
By Iceman?
Yeah.
I can give you a couple by Tom Cruise.
But see, I thought you were talking about Val Kilmer.
Hey, no, I wanted to bring up. I was distracted by this Mom's Wholesome video comment right here. This Mom's Wholesome video comment right here is what I got distracted by. And yes, Kim Blandino parlayed a traffic ticket into a serious crime, but that's because he went and he returned the favor of all the litigious paperwork, and then he put a bunch of claims and a bunch of threats in writing, which is never a good idea. Like, you don't add like somebody threatening you and then you threatening like double the threats on top of that. When you don't have the power of the state behind you, it's probably not wise to do that.
Oh, that's some real sovereign citizen shit. I've
Yeah.
heard of Kim Blandino, but I'm not familiar with it at all. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, it's almost as unfamiliar as I am with Wyatt Earp and with some of the lines off that movie. But what I was gonna say about Kim Blandino though is that, like, because I got that comparison all the time. Kim Blandino was going through his thing at the same time as I was on Artie's show, and so I was kind of getting people that they were basically congratulating me and saying they can't wait until I go down Kim Blandino's path and get myself some serious felony time. And I'm like, well, I'm just not gonna go. Like, I'm just gonna stop going.
Yeah, you're not going down that path, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm getting off that fucking path. Like, I'm not making a bunch of wild fucking claims in there. I would, if anybody's going to implore a strategy to combat, what the courts are doing, and I've seen a lot of this common law stuff, and I believe that's what Kim Blandino used, but I'm not very familiar with Kim Blandino's trial by any means. I just know it's on the surface, and from what I've heard from enough of the camps to know the real information from the bullshit. And he was filing paperwork and basically threatening the judges and threatening the attorneys and threatening them all. And then I've seen common law videos or videos on how to draft legal documents through the common law process. And that's basically what it is. You make a bunch of threatening claims in there, and that can be dangerous if you stick to those claims too long.
Yeah. I mean, just assume that all the government are sovereign citizens. If you start acting like them, then you're going to be a sovereign citizen too.
Exactly, except for you're not going to have the might of the state, and
Right.
then not only the might of the state, but then the hearts and minds of the watchdogs and colonialists out there who just sit by and go, oh yeah, that's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Which makes it even worse, because the state, no matter how much weaponry, could not get away with it if they didn't have those damn watchdog colonialists trying to get in between the people and their government.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's what they're doing.
That was
like Ironton Auditor, since you brought him up earlier.
Yes, I'm glad we circled back to him too, because and Bob put this comment up, and this kind of ties into Ironton Auditor. I think Ironton Auditor is just trying to be one of the guys that doesn't go to jail, because it seems like there's a lot of folks going to jail for not actually committing a crime.
Well,
but what's your take on the whole Ironton watchdog, Ironton colonialist guy?
I mean, I have a take on it, and I've already made it clear. He's an idiot, and he is a traitor, and both sides know it. And just because he might be, it might seem like the colonialists like him right now, they will throw him to the wolves so fast. They certainly don't trust him, because he's just an enemy of an enemy, right?
Right, exactly.
He's not really a friend, and if he thinks that just because he has the support of the colonialists, that's going to prevent him from getting arrested, he's an idiot, right?
Well, definitely. Yeah. And then Wolverine, because Wolvie called me after he got off that show, and he was like, man, I've got it. Like, he was hot, and he was trying to explain it to me. I didn't realize how bad it was until I went back and watched it. But everything Wolvie said was, I mean, listen, I don't agree with everything that Wolvie says, and Wolvie, you know this because we have these discussions, right? And I don't believe in everything that Wolvie throws out there, but the overall premise to what happened there was basically Wolvie went on a watchdog channel and then got thrown to the wolves, and then they tried to mess with him and tell him he was wrong.
About what?
About him going on to Ironton Auditor, which is basically a watchdog channel. Like, Wolvie, I know one thing about Wolvie. He will not go on one of those watchdog channels. He won't.
Right.
So do you see how, they made it appear like, oh yeah, this is like a 1A or a pro 1A anti-tyrannical police channel. And then he comes over there. If you look at the mods in that chat and you look at the way that chat went, it goes exactly like a watchdog chat.
Yeah, well, Ironton Auditor, according to the Colonialist, he's the only actual auditor. Everyone else is a frauditor. He's the only one that does it right.
Oh yeah. I can see how that. Yeah, I can see how that is. Except for K1A. K1A is probably second on that list. If there's anybody that can audit better than Ironton Auditor, it would be K1A, because the way K1A does a sidewalk audit is just top notch. Yes, exactly. And then the way he puts people in their place by calling the police on them, man, like that's just, he ratcheted up. Just when I think he couldn't do better than the sidewalk audits, he topped himself, and he did even better, and he called the police.
Yeah, but according to the Colonialist, Ironton Auditor is the only one who just goes up and records and doesn't say anything, and then sometimes the police even come over and talk to him, I hear.
Oh, well, I'm sure they have long chats when they're walking on the beach. If there's any beaches in Ironton, I don't know if there are or if there aren't, but
I'm just saying, like, we both know that most cop watchers don't go up just yelling and screaming. They're just recording, and sometimes cops do talk to us, right? But also sometimes they try and open their piggy lips and give unlawful orders.
Yeah, and then even worse, they'll try to engage in a casual conversation with you, and they'll tickle their piggy tits while you're trying to talk to them too, and that's awfully distracting.
Awfully distracting. They learn that right from the get, man. Holding their teats and shit like this.
Yeah, I wonder which ones they play with. Do they play with the top ones, or do they play with the middle ones, do you think? We're going to trigger a couple Paul Carrolls tonight. We're going to trigger a Paul Carroll eventually. If there's going to be a Paul Carroll sighting. By the way, Mr. Carroll, our resident attorney, I'm kind of disappointed. You haven't been here as often as I expected you to. So hopefully we can step up on that, and hopefully we can improve your attendance, because we definitely need you here. Because just like Paul Carroll was pulling an Ironton Auditor the other day, when he just didn't want to answer questions or he didn't want to muddy the waters, right? And it was very clear that he was trying to do that. That's kind of what's happening with Ironton Auditor.
Right. Well, I mean, with Ironton Auditor, like the whole thing with Chili and him, you know.
Yeah, and the nerve of Ironton.
I blame them both equally, right?
Oh yeah. But the nerve of Ironton Auditor to make us have to align with Chili on this, like, how dare you, Ironton Auditor?
No, I don't align with Chili. I think they're both idiots.
Well, right. But I'm just saying, but because those two are opposed to each other, right? So I would be in favor of Chili in that rivalry right there. I would actually be on Chili's side 51-49, I would say.
No, I think Chili wants to take advantage of him, but Ironton Auditor just wanted a free ride. It's like they were both trying to take advantage of each other. It's no big surprise, like, and Chili quit.
I think Ironton Auditor, for his punishment, he should have to fight that Lee Educator guy now.
Yeah, there you go.
I think he should have to substitute now and be the substitute in that fight.
Right. Well,
that Lee Educator guy, he was not signing up for that fight to get publicity or to get his name out there. That's not what he was doing it for. He was doing it for charity.
He's a horrible cop, man. Lee Educator.
Yeah.
Holy shit, man. That guy's psycho.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And then his wife, or whoever she is, that sits there like rubbing up on his shoulder. It's like, my man can be more violent than your man. Look at this. My man is the most violent man out there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not down for any of them in that whole situation, you know. I think all the parties, like, I'm like, fuck all of them and shit. Um, but the trolls, they they'll just use anyone that they can at the time to help make their argument. They don't have any friends, and they're shameless.
They're shameless. Well, they definitely act shameless. That
Yeah.
is for damn sure. I mean, that's why that would be my theory as to why they want to hide behind an avatar and they'll never join a live panel discussion.
Well, I guess Frauded Troll hides behind an avatar.
Frauded Troll what?
Frauded Troll hides behind an avatar, but they don't all.
Well, my point to the hiding behind the avatar and refusing to come up on live streams is because as outspoken as the trolls seem to be, they seem to be awfully quiet when the opportunity presents itself to be as outspoken as you want. Which is join a panel or join a live discussion and try to talk about the ideas.
Well, they're not trying to do that. They're not trying to do that.
Yeah, well, yeah, they're definitely not trying to do that. They're so busy running their 20 sock accounts that
No, you can tell from their arguments. I mean, they're projecting, right? So whatever arguments they're making, that's what they're doing, and they're about the money. They're about pushing a narrative. They don't care what it is. It's just whichever one they think is going to pay the most and be the safest argument. You know, filming the police is not safe. It's not good for your health. It never will be. It's not going to be good for your pocketbook. It's not going to be good for your relationships.
it's not going to be good at 5 o'clock in the morning when you got a gang of them surrounding your house for no reason other than retaliation.
For traffic tickets like Big G audits.
Oh yeah, I mean that was the crime of the century, wasn't it? I mean that's right up there with Bonnie and Clyde. I think he's synonymous with Bonnie and Clyde now.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He was out there robbing banks and all that stuff, man. How dare he speed or try to catch up with a guy going faster than him, or how dare he have the nerve to confront that individual and expect that individual to take a look in the mirror and say, well, yeah, man, maybe you're right, and you're right about that, and I'll watch my speed.
Yeah, I like Big G audits. I've met him a couple of times. He's super cool and shit.
Yeah, there's definitely a bunch of guys that I haven't met in real life that I really, like and respect. I didn't see what happened to Big G until Freeman posted it, but
yeah, he's had some good videos and shit, some runarounds with this department.
Was it the same department? Because I think it was Big G, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was Big G that had some guy drive past his house.
Yeah, that was
okay, yep.
Yeah, that was what got him started.
Yeah, and you know what? The phone call I made to Finley, right? It's almost like to try to say that wasn't retaliation for a guy questioning his government. To try to make any sort of argument to the contrary is almost silly, but I am prepared for Mr. Carroll to argue that point.
Speaking of retaliation, remember I was telling you that I got gang activity the other night, right?
Yeah.
And there was a foot chase, and it was like, I mean, I recorded the whole thing and everything, and it was like an hour and 14 minutes, but you were saying, oh, that was going to be on Press Harder, and I was like, well, I don't know, because it wasn't a protest and it wasn't a conversation, so I don't know if I'm even going to post it. But just to remind everybody what happened, okay, at the end, I mean, the whole time, like, I wasn't bothering them, they weren't bothering me. They never asked me, like, not to film or to go anywhere, or, they never gave me a hard time. But then at the end, I asked the trooper for a case number or a report number or incident number or something, right? Mm-hmm. And what he did was he said, he gave me his badge number and told me to call dispatch and give him the badge number. And I'm like, what the fuck am I going to do with that shit? Like, I don't want to make a phone call. I want the case number or the report number or whatever it is, you know? And he didn't want to give it to me for some reason, you know? And it's like, I knew he was obscuranting, right? And so I kept on him about it. And then, and this trooper, he was like, fresh out of high school and shit. He was obviously new on the job and didn't know what he was doing. And he asked one of the sheriff's deputies, like what he would do, right? And the sheriff's deputy came over and he's like, I can confiscate your phone for you if you'd like to get involved. And you know, I can put you down on the report and everything, and yada yada. And he's like, does your recording have any evidence of a crime? And I'm like, no. And he's like, does it or not? Yes or no? And I'm like, no. And he's like, yes or no? And this goes back and forth and shit, right? Well, then the next night, I happened to catch not only him, but his corporal at the gas station. And the corporal I've already had a few conversations with. We've been real cool.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We've talked for over an hour and shit. And I showed him the video. And so now I have a conversation to go with it.
Oh, cool. Awesome. So a little bit of foreshadowing right there. A little bit of foreshadowing. There's going to be some good content coming up pretty soon to keep your eyes open for. What did you think about Hippie and this artist rendition right here? Is that going to be a trigger for Mr. Carroll?
That's going to be a trigger for sure.
I mean, it is
Paul
pink.
Carroll, Paul Carroll has been trying to humanize pigs for a long time.
And
they're
it's like,
just not humans. Like,
right,
no
you
matter
can't
what
take
Paul
away
Carroll
the 8
said.
nipples. Right, you can't take away the 8 nipples. You just can't ignore the other 6 nipples that are on there.
Or the 2 toes. I mean, they're not just going to grow 3 more toes and shit.
Right.
You know?
Well, he does do his best attempt. He makes his best attempt to try. I will give him that. At least he gives us his best attempt to try. But I did say that I wasn't going to go long on tonight's stream. We're a little over 2 hours right now. Is there anything pressing that you feel like we need to talk about tonight that might be able to get through in about 10, 15 minutes? Otherwise, I think I'm going to start winding the stream down and we can pick this back up on the next show.
Winding the stream down. Well, speaking of going long and the last live and everything, it was reported that Drew Bledsoe, Tom Brady is getting divorced from his wife after it was revealed on the last live stream that he's not the greatest quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that's how wild rumors happen. You know what I mean? You get a wild rumor and then it just does nothing but cause chaos, and it causes like family turmoil and divorce. So I could totally see how that happened.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness.
But,
well, that will be a debate that lives on forever. But I don't know if you got a chance to really see the clips that I played earlier. But
yeah, I saw
speaking of foreshadowing, I'm definitely interested in coming back to those videos. Tonight, I wanted to get all the trick-or-treating and the Halloween stuff out of the way real quick. But I definitely want to come back and go more in depth, especially with the trend in court cases, with what happened with Wolvie and his obstruction, what just happened with You Have Rights, Cops Have Duties, and then kind of the examples that I have that I can bring up there to go more in depth with. But I think we've got quite a few clips actually to springboard off of, and I think it's probably going to take a couple days just to work through a few of the clips that I have on there. But I don't know if you're as excited as I am, but I definitely look forward to talking about all this stuff. How about you?
Yeah, I predict that Wolvie will not be convicted.
I think that's a pretty safe. I mean, my odds might have been pretty long because I don't think because my odds originally were 99 out of 100. But I always have to remind myself that you should never discount the most powerful manipulative system in all of mankind. Well, maybe not all of mankind. That might be a far claim to, or a far stretch on that claim. But I don't put anything past the manipulative power of, a tyrannical government. So I think the odds are probably safer to be 70-30. Where would you put your odds at?
70-30. Wow. I mean, it depends on what they wrote on the police report. I haven't seen that yet. I mean, just because like we assume that what the cop was thinking was obstruction, we're just assuming until he writes it down.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
So yeah,
I would say
definitely
there's like a 1% chance that he's getting convicted.
1%. Oh, so my original odds were probably a little more favorable in your guesstimation.
I would think so, but
okay.
I mean, it depends on what they write down. If they're like, oh, he was standing in front of him. I mean, I don't know. Like, just because at the moment that he gave him the ticket doesn't mean that that's when said offense happened. Like,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I guess, that would be almost a perfect cliffhanger. And then hopefully maybe I can talk Wolvie into coming up here. If he gets more information that would be relevant and help us kind of maybe speculate a little bit more on that. If he chooses or wants to do that, I don't know if he's interested, but I definitely want to continue the conversation because, again, it's not just Wolvie that it's happening to. The idea is bigger than just Wolvie, but of course, if we can use that as an example, that would be awesome if we could do that on a future live stream.
Well, obviously, we all need to learn from Ironton Auditor. He's the only one that knows what he's doing and stuff.
Well, that's why I have my notepad. Whenever I watch his videos, I have my notepad and my pencil with me because if I'm not taking notes on it, then how do I ever expect to become the absolute best auditor out there and the only real one?
Right. But yet, didn't he get arrested? Isn't that why Chili went there?
I'm not 100% sure. To be honest, I don't really I'm not as big into the Chili thing as everybody else from the looks of it. I'm just not as hypnotized, and it's not like a hating thing, because Chili gets attention. It's more of just, it's not really my cup of tea type thing, right? I'd rather just see people giving shit back to the cops that the cops give them. That's more what I take interest in. So it's not a slam on Chili by any means when I say it's just not that interesting to me. So yeah, long answer to that. But the short answer is no, I don't know.
You don't know. Yeah,
correct.
I don't really know either, but I thought that he was arrested or something. And
well, then if that's the case,
to help him.
Well, if that's the case and he's been arrested, then everything he says from this point forward is just absolutely garbage. Because if he's been arrested, then obviously he's not allowed to speak against the government from this point forward.
Obviously not.
Right. So, more interesting twist in this whole ordeal here. So, we're at the 2-hour 15-minute mark. I gotta get winding down so I can get my ass up for work in the morning. People, any closing remarks?
Yeah, according to KGAL, you don't work, so that must not be true.
Right, it must not be true. Right, exactly.
But fuck it, trolling the butt.
How did I know that was coming? And with that, we will transition to this video right here, and then I will play a video on our way out of here. Anybody just coming in or anybody that checked this out, if you haven't hit the like button, please do so. That was People. Always honored to have him as a guest. And as People said, fuck a troll in the butt.
Oh my God. Well, we've hit it. We've finally got there. It took us 17 minutes, but we got there. We've reached the peak. I think just take him in. Asshole.
There might be dildos in there.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Is there anything you want to tell us, Josh? Is there anything? Oh my God. Well, you know, we've hit it. I think just take him in. Asshole. It hurts. Oh my god. Well, you know, we've hit it. We've finally got there. It took us 17 minutes, but we got there.
Yeah, I don't want to be the star of this show. I'm here for I'm here for Broken.
All right, everybody. I hope you have a happy Halloween. I've got one more video to play for you guys. So this would, in essence, be the 2-minute warning, winding down the show so you guys can all say your goodbyes. Wait, I lied. Here, we got a 10-second clip real quick. That could be seen as more evidence of trolls getting effed in the butt. Okay, so here's your outro for 2 minutes. Thank you all for being in here. Hope you all had a happy Halloween. And let's play the outro for you. Let's get on out of here, guys.
Victory is all you need, so cultivate and plant the seed. Victory is all you need, so cultivate and plant the seed. Victory is all you need, so cultivate and plant the seed. Victory is all you need, so cultivate and plant the seed.
Oh, he fucked him up, dude. He showed right up and filmed his ass in front of his house.
That's funny.
Victory is all you need, so cultivate and plant the seed. Victory is all you need, so cultivate and plant the seed. Victory is all you need, so cultivate and plant the seed. Victory is all you need, so cultivate and plant the seed.
Are trying to cause a rise or get attention.
The noise, the power to destroy your gun.
Victory is all you need, so cultivate and plant the seed.
All right, that's your 2-minute warning. You know what? No Halloween would be complete without a little bit of spooky music to conclude everything. But as you can see, the studio is back to normal, and we're done with the Halloween season. I hope you enjoyed it as much as me. Here's some spooky music, and then we're leaving. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna have nightmares for the rest of the night. Oh my goodness. I hope I can even get to sleep after that scary video. Thank you all for being in here. Let me do just one last run through chat. Ajot, thanks for coming in. You have rights, cops have duties. Thank you for being here. Of course, people in the house, Press Harder channel, 34 likes. Man, thank you guys for that. Thank you guys. Dogtective is cool. I call her Doggy Style Detective, Hand Banana. She's Doggy Style Detective. Get it right, okay? Let's see Halloween costumes. I already put up the Halloween costumes. So, but anyways, and then Bob, of course, you had a couple really good comments. If I remember, I'll try to clip a couple of the comments because you had a couple good points that you brought up in there. And sorry we didn't touch on them more. So anyways, with that being said, thank you all for tuning in, and with any luck, we get to do this tomorrow. Thanks.